Hey man, I have to say I 100% agree with you on this exact subject. I get it all over the place, all over the internet. People think there's no point in carousing these interests and thinking about this kind of stuff because, we're hopeless and we have no significant power to do anything. And that's part of the hugest problem that's been done. And that's what I was talking about in one of the messages that I sent you. Actually, I'm not even sure if that was something I said in one of the things I deleted. But the media has been built to make people feel powerless. Now, that being said, most people buy into that, and they have the ability to go against it, but it's so much easier to sit in your living room and watch TV and let the TV live your life for you, which is what many, many people do. They have these ideals and these things that they want to do, and then they sit and watch TV, and they're like, this has already been done. It's already, I'm watching this person do this, and now what I'm thinking is, irrelevant because it's already been thought of, so I fail. That's not true. It's just because somebody else thought it doesn't mean your thoughts are irrelevant. I mean, you can add to that by going to it. But a lot of people start to feel hopeless, or they just, decide, okay, well, maybe I'll do something about it, and they go to bed, wake up the next morning, and then they watch TV again, and it just starts over. So then you've also got your problems of, changing a light bulb, and all of those things that you said, which are all excellent ideas. Activism specifically, I would say, are things that if everybody did together, we would all be able to, do something extremely well with our lives. So, I mean, for example, I just moved in with my stepmother, father, and sister, and my stepmother insists on leaving the HD TV on for our dog to sit at home because she thinks he enjoys the voice on the TV, and it upset me because this HD TV with a surround sound system, that's a major outlet of electricity. I mean, for a dog. But I mean, it's the one thing, and I'm not here to change them. So I mean, everybody doesn't want to be changed. People want to be themselves, I suppose. But all I can do is, put my avenues out to other people that maybe will listen to me. And the more people together who do it, the better the odds are of having an impact. Now, one of the biggest problems we're facing is something called entropy. We're all on this earth, and I don't know how familiar everybody out there is with how energy is created, but it basically stems from, let's say we've got a water dam. The water comes through, everything has potential energy. Kinetic energy is what we use the most. Kinetic energy is transmitted into electricity, which goes to your house. Now, any system has only a certain amount of potential energy. Entropy is the limit of that. So, if we were to come out with a replenishable fuel source that is free, per se, we would need to learn some form of responsibility before being given that. Otherwise, we could kill the planet pretty quickly. I don't think we would get to that point because I think the planet would kind of, Atlas shrugged, we're gone. But the point is, we've got global warming now, which I don't think is the cause, truly, of what's actually going on. But the cause behind using global warming is a noble one. And that cause is to get people to become more aware of their energy use. What I truly think it is that the sun is heating up, and there's just more condensed sun rays in our immediate vicinity due to the fact that there's more heat outcoming, because photons and heat and energy are all linked as one kind of thing, and therefore there's less space for them to go anywhere, and then they're just using global warming as something to prevent mass hysteria. Regardless of that, that's not something they want. They want to keep the status quo, so they use global warming, and let's create a global consciousness as per energy usage, which is an excellent idea, because if we can do that, if we can learn to limit our energy uses, then we can learn to become a little bit more responsible as a race as a whole, and at that point we are able to do bigger and greater things. with, you know, some of the energy things that maybe hasn't even been released to public eye because of the fact that we're so irresponsible with energy, and they don't want to risk this entropic catastrophe. Now, there's so many people, like I said, that just give up on this, and yet at the same time you've got this other half of people that are entirely hopeful of it. So you just got to kind of pick your sides, and, you know, rather than dwelling on the negative people, just focus on the positive people and set an example. That's how you lead, you know. You set the example, and then when other people see how well you're doing as that example setter, they follow. It's like being a shepherd, you know. You be a shepherd, the sheep follow. It's kind of wrong to say, because it's like, you know, leader sheep, wolf sheep, whatever. But at the same time, it needs to happen. There needs to be people who set that example, and there needs to be, and it's people like you and me that need to do that. For me, it's a little harder because of the immediate surroundings I have and my monetary, you know, circumstances. But if you're in the position to do that, I loved your video, man. And you're doing exactly what so many other people should, especially. I don't mean to sound discriminatory, but people at a middle-aged or 30-year-old, you know, age group, they typically are pretty set in their ways. And, well, I should maybe even say anyways, they're typically set in their ways and don't really want to change. So for somebody to even set a leading example in that category is by far and away even 10 times better, because then it sets an example for them as well as youth. So, I mean, you're doing what you got to do, I'm doing what I got to do, we're all putting our part in. I want to say right now, everything happens for a reason, and we are where we are for a reason. So just be absolutely hopeful yourself, and it will wear off on others. YouTube, well, there's going to be a lot of negative people. It's the internet. There are better communities. Go to www.kiva.org. Some of the more private forums and stuff like that. YouTube is an excellent place to get a broader audience. The point being, you have to, if you're going to do that, you have to absorb the hate, if you know what I mean. Absorb it. Like Tai Chi. Tai Chi is used to use somebody else's impact against them. So, you just take that and run with it. Stick with the positive and stick with your message, man. Is there anything else really I want to say? Not really at the moment. Maybe I'll think of something later and make another video or something. But I like the way you're going, and I like that you've actually brought me out to say this kind of stuff on video, because I've really needed a reason to say this kind of stuff, really. Education. Education really needs to be looked at differently, because it's pretty biased from a certain perspective. I see you're a teacher, actually, so I don't know. I've only got about 1 minute and 30 seconds to go, so cheers.